These are about a dozen things that Madden 25 desperately needs. The beta was announced today and is about a month out, so I wanted to get a couple of these off my chest. The first, the one that came to mind was strength dominant positions. Madden took a huge step forward when they introduced slot receiver, power halfback, sub linebacker, all of those things a few years back. But I wanted them to take another step further. I want to keep a specific receiver outside of, say, like my X receiver on the backside of a formation. Or I want to keep a specific guy in the slot or a specific guy off the line in that Z wide receiver position that we see so commonly in the NFL. There's a couple of formations where this is possible. I think Madden kind of did it inadvertently, but I think it should be a thing in literally every single formation. If so choose, it definitely have to be an option that you just click on and just have the game play that way. I think flipping over to the other side of the ball, this could be a big thing as well. Having a strong side versus weak side linebacker, defensive tackle, defensive end. For the more football nerds who actually play the game, a one technique and a three technique defensive tackle are two completely different players. And similarly, a strong side defensive end versus a weak side defensive end, pretty different. So I just feel like that type of thing is missing in the game. This also kind of goes hand in hand with franchise mode. We should pretty much just get rid of positions in general. So instead of left and right in, we should just have edge, interior, D line, interior, O line, etc. Um, so that was the first thing that came to mind. Uh, Moving on to the next one, I want properly coded max coverage. It's not a big secret, but I really enjoy max coverage. But there's just too many scenarios that break the coverage, and there's certain formations where you can't even really run max at all. So without getting too deep into it, cover nine is a super popular play against 3x1 sets. You see it a lot by like Brandon Staley type teams, Vic Fangio type teams, where you have the cover two side of the formation be stacked over the three receiver side, which kind of sounds counterintuitive. But the deeper you dive, you kind of understand that uh, there's additional rules that kind of make this advantageous to the defense. So I would really love something like that to be implemented into the game. Moving forward, I really want a MyPark like mode that is not the yard. Let us have a true competitive player versus player mode similar to the Rec on 2K. I want like a true 7-on-7 where we have to each create our own player, have an archetype, and build it up that way. Everyone's using a skill position, so it would just be super fun. Everyone would be engaged. They could even do this 11-on-11 maybe, but I guess AI would have to be the O line. But Madden could definitely figure out a way to get this done. On top of that, imagine we all have custom uniforms and our records are tracked, and then there's a leaderboard, so you can kind of play your friends against a different group of friends. I just think that would be super fun. It would open up a whole new competitive realm for the game. And just make it way more fun to be engaged and hop on and Madden and like another reason to basically play with your friends on the game. So now moving over to the next mode, I think they gotta pretty much revamp the offline CFM and make it so we have a super immersive mode where you can transfer over your player from NCAA 25 to Madden 25. Imagine a world where we can start a career in high school, play up, sign NIL deals in college, play 3-4 years in college, and then port that same draft class over into Madden, and then there'd be like a cool storyline along the way the whole time. So not this long shot stuff or whatever they got in the game now, but a whole new mode that's kind of centered around being able to port your player from NCAA over to Madden. I can't quite remember if there was ever an online Road to Glory mode, but maybe it was, if it's possible, kind of everybody got their own like single player team in a Road to Glory like mode. I just think that would be super fun, and that's definitely something that Madden is missing. But now moving over, I'm gonna rattle off like a couple of smaller things that are pretty self-explanatory, and then some fun ones too. Kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but I want better uniform customization. There's no reason that PC mods should have all these different uniforms, the different equipment, stuff like that. Like, just look at these ones that I've thrown up on the screen. It's no way that people who are doing this for free in their free time, just for fun, are able to put out a better product than EA, who is literally pulling in billions and billions of dollars a year. Um, So it doesn't obviously have an effect on gameplay, but the game would just be a lot more immersive, and I feel like it would keep more people engaged, especially for longer. Quick one, I want real OCs and DCs. We don't have any OCs or DCs in the game, so I think it would be cool to kind of have those more, at least the more high profile guys. I know coaches could technically opt out, but it would be a lot of fun to see those guys. Um, then online mini games. When they first introduced mini games in Madden 24, I kind of expected it to be online. I'm mainly only really thinking about the wide receiver battle slash wide receiver versus DB. That's a whole niche that where I don't know if you ever seen it on TikTok or YouTube, but it gets pretty competitive and it's a lot of fun. But you kind of got to set it up in the CFM and do a whole bunch of extra stuff to get it kind of how you exactly how you want to play it. Um, and then another one I think would cool is getting the content creators involved more somehow. Like imagine a mud card of sketch and he's your coach on the sideline. He's saying he's doing his signature. What's up, brother? I just think that would be absolutely hilarious. I know they did the comp players as coaches a few years back, but I think getting the content creators involved would definitely bring a new aspect to the game and definitely drive a lot more engagement. So more unique playbooks. It seems like every playbook is the same. I want a custom uniform creator. So I think we should be able to upload our own logos or at least have like a Call of Duty, old school Call of Duty like emblem creator where we can at least make logos that way, kind of similar to MLB The Show, if you guys ever played that. And then on top of that, hand to hand, stadium builder, face scan, more announcer duos. And then the smaller one is special teams depth chart. I think we should be able to set our depth chart on special teams. There's no reason I should have to play with my third middle linebacker and my fourth right outside linebacker to get the most optimal team out there on the field. But overall, those are just about a dozen of my wish list items. A lot of them are feasible. I don't think any of these are too out of hand, and I would love to see this in the next game. And if you're still watching, I hope you enjoyed. Like the video, subscribe, and until the next one.